Hello everybody, this is RobbieNub1337, the most elite noob on YouTube, and today I'm going to talk about one of the things that have been circulating all over the internet, the next generation of gaming. Now, before I begin, let me make one thing very clear. This is not really a big deal, it's not the end of the universe, the world is not somehow going to implode, we didn't divide by zero. This is games we are talking about here, people. Games. I'm with you in that I want to see improvements instead of stagnation or, worse, regression. But it's still games. There are more important problems in the world. Worry when you see one of these on your front lawn. Also, I would like to make another thing clear. I am a PC gamer, yes, but I don't think we're some sort of master race on a pedestal. It's merely a preference. There have always been advantages and disadvantages to both sides. That said, that line is starting to blur a bit, but I'll get into that here in a moment. Now, as a lot of you have heard, Sony and Microsoft have released a lot of information about their next-gen consoles, and it's got everyone in a bit of an uproar. I thought I would throw my 2 cents worth on this topic. Now, I know I'm mostly running a PC gaming channel at this point, but this kind of thing is too big for me to turn a blind eye to. The thing is, it's way too early to be making judgments on the graphical performance of the devices. I do agree that it's not looking very promising, and the chances of catching up to what PC has been doing for a few years now, at least anytime soon, is pretty sketchy. Which is a shame. There's literally no reason at all they could not do this cheaply. The idea that PCs have to be expensive to be high performance is a myth. You can max out PC versions of all the major titles far cheaper than you might think. And the thing about that is this is with higher resolution textures, which require higher specs than the current console versions would. So they literally could keep up with PC entirely and not have as big of a problem as you might think. I don't understand why they've chosen to hold back the consoles and instead try to replace devices that the people who would be buying these things would already likely have. And looking up the specs, from my understanding, I suspect it may be either a software issue or something very specific to the design. The reason I say this, the hardware specs just seem like they should be able to keep up with any of the current medium-end gaming PCs at bare minimum, which tells me that what they've been showing us thus far is just a ghost of what they could do. Unless there's something weird going on in the way Sony and Microsoft have chosen to design the consoles, which nerfs the actual performance. Kind of like how Sony's PS3 did stupid stuff with the RAM. Skyrim, anyone? Here's my take on it. Mobile devices are trying to universalize, so I have to ask myself, what if they are trying to mimic the mobile market and universalize home entertainment systems? After all, that hype worked for mobile, why can't it work in your living room? The problem here is that you are appealing to a completely different market. Mobile devices are being carried in your pocket, fanny pack, backpack, or otherwise on your person, and this is being done a vast majority of the time. As a result, universalized devices are practically a must, because imagine trying to carry 4 or more different devices for different functions, or worse, carrying more because your game systems are incompatible with each other and have exclusives. With consoles, this is not the case. Most people actually took it as a trophy worthy of bragging about when they had all 3 of the major consoles for their generation. These people don't care about universalizing their equipment. It sits on a shelf plugged into their totally stationary TV. They typically have DVD and Blu-ray players already hooked up to it. The other problem is you are selling to gamers specifically. You can't do that by throwing non-gaming features at them as a selling point. It's great to have the features, but when you start damaging the gaming function, it destroys the point. That makes the very consumers you wish to sell to rage. So I do agree that Sony and Microsoft have taken a very strange direction this generation. Do I think it will kill them? Hell no, they'll practically fly off the shelves. Here's why. It's the cool thing to do. It's always been an Achilles heel for the console gamer. You always have to have the most up-to-date gaming system or you are simply not cool. It's the cool thing to do, and allow me to let you in on a little secret, PC gamers are no better. Even though having a system powerful beyond a certain point is completely pointless for gaming, PC gamers bicker, argue, boast, and show off about their system's performance abilities. such as the constant frames per second show-off arguments entailing triple-digit numbers, even though your monitor can't even display them. In spite of all the rage, it has a fad to it, and it will sell. So here's the thing. We very well could see a drop in sales as a result, nonetheless. And that's just looking only at the gaming market. However, I doubt it's going to be as much as people think. And then they break out their secret weapon. You see, this is obviously a new direction they are trying to take. These are not gaming consoles anymore. They are simply moving to a whole new market entirely. It's just that they want to hook what gamers they can first. Picture this. You are heading to college. You have not really had a gaming system yet. But now you're on your own, and your parents no longer have a say on things. The problem is, you have a cramped dorm room, and you are not really interested in having to mess with a bunch of cables and stuff. Bam, you buy one device, and you can play your movies, games, or whatever else you want on your TV with minimal hassle. Or at least, that's in theory. It remains to be seen whether or not Xbox One's voice commands will be as irritating as Siri, and whether or not both consoles will simply completely suck at these tasks, by being inefficient, having players that wear out quickly, or who knows what other problems we cannot possibly foresee yet. Anyways, this has just been my 2 cents worth. I obviously can't have all the answers, so I'd love to hear your feedback. What do you think of the next generation consoles? Do you think they are worthwhile? Do you think they are garbage? Let me know in the comments below, and while you are at it, if you like this video, please leave a like and subscribe. Thank you for your time. This is RobbieNub1337 signing off.